Hello and welcome to the DonorWise Learning Library. This segment is on creating a new donation batch. A new donation batch actually starts outside of DonorWise because the very first thing you need to do is collect the contributions that you're going to enter. Compile them all into a pile of some kind, or a batch as we call it, and add them up so that you have the total separate. In this example, we're going to have a donation batch that equals 557 euros. Then in DonorWise, we select New Batches from the Donation Batches menu. Press the New Batch button and we enter a descriptive name. In this case, we're going to say Cash Batch. Select the fiscal period, July 2012, and the date, July 31. And press Next. This batch is going to be all cash, and it's going to equal, as we said, 557 euros. By having this number in advance, we can make sure we do it more accurately. I click OK. This is the batch entry screen. On this screen, notice that DonorWise takes me directly to the first gift, and I start with the donor's name. I can just start typing the name. I don't even need to type the whole name, just the first few letters. And then I can press F3. I encourage you to use the keyboard as much as you can because it'll be faster than using your mouse. Or you can select F3, select search from the list. And when I press F3, the very first person up there is Mickey Mouse. If it's the top person on the list, I can just hit enter, or I can select another person and press OK. I can write a memo that's going to appear on the receipt, but I do not need to in this example. I'm going to say that Mickey Mouse is giving a gift of 100 euros. I tab into the next field. Tab moves through all the fields in the donation batch. And when I click the drop-down list, DonorWise actually gives me a list of every person or project that this donor has supported in the past. I'm going to select Clark Kent from the list. Now, once I tab out of there, it automatically assigns the correct GL account for donations and the correct responsibility center for Clark Kent. So I press enter, and it takes me to the next gift. Notice that because the total is going to be 557, but I've only entered 100 so far. That's why it gives me a new row. I press tab, and this donor, his name is Donald Duck. When I press F3, notice that I have two ducks in our ministry. First is Daffy, the second is Donald. So I click on his name, and I press OK. And Donald Duck gives a gift of 200 euros, and he is going to support Bob and Helen Parr. Again, as soon as I tab out, the GL account and responsibility center are added, and I press enter. And it will keep adding new rows until the current amount equals the total given. They must be equal. That's why we put that in there in advance. It helps ensure that you do this more accurately. This third donor is going to be First Pedestrian Church. So I'll just type first, and there it is. I press enter or click OK. And this church is going to give 257 euros. Notice up here, now these two amounts are equal. So this is going to be the last donation in this batch. But we're going to split this between two staff members. So First Pedestrian Church is going to support Bruce Wayne for 150 euros. And then notice when I tabbed, it did not give me a new row, a new donor, but a new row within this donation, because I said 257 euros from this donor, but I've only entered 150 so far. So there must be 107 left to designate. So I'm going to select Bob Parr on this one, and when I press enter, now it's complete. Notice this Mark Complete button has just become available because the current amount equals the total, and all the donations are correctly identified. I press the Mark Complete button. I could view the batch transaction edit report, but I'm not going to do that now. And the batch moves into the Approved Batches screen. Those are the basic steps for creating a new batch. You can find a handy reference guide for this in the DonorWise help, and you can also find step-by-step instructions in the DonorWise help. I hope that's been helpful to you. Have a great day.